Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome. Call everybody, grab your seat, sit down. Let's talk about this. Remember, we are doing our Saudi series. We're doing our Saudi Arabia series, and in this series we've been talking about virtually, everything you need to know about this country for those who are coming here and for those who intend to come here, and for those whose sisters and brothers and friends and relatives are planning to come here. Oh my god, can you feel my rappings? So that is the essence of this video, because I get lots of messages in my DM asking this, that, this and that. So that's the reason I decided to make them into videos, so that those people who come to my inbox better come and subscribe and watch these videos. Because if you, after making these videos and you come to my inbox to ask me again, I'm not going to answer it, don't mind me. I'm just kidding. But make sure you subscribe, like, and share to your relatives, share to your friends, share on your Facebook groups, especially for those who want to come to this kingdom, those who want to come to look at me speaking grammatica. Those who want to come to Saudi Arabia for work, to accompany a spouse or whatever it is. So today is what was today? This is episode 7. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm keeping up with this. But thank you. First of all, have you subscribed? The subscription button is that red button down there. Please click on it and click on the bell sign, so that anytime I make a video you will get notified. And also give me a thumbs up. Give it to me now. A second, just give it to me now so that you don't forget. Give it to me now and begin to share. You share, then you now watch. Share to Facebook, share to Instagram, share to WhatsApp, share to anywhere, and then you start watching. So today, like I said, is episode 7 in Saudi Arabia series, the video I have been making for some time now. The reason I'm making this because I'm getting so many messages lately. I don't know if it's because there are so many people on Exodus to this country. And let me tell you something, when I was coming here, and when I used to be so shy to tell people that I'm coming to this place, because they will ask, why Saudi? You understand? But these days almost everybody wants to come here. But not to say that there is no reason for what I've said now, but that is the fact. So today we're going to be talking about, can I come to Saudi Arabia with my spouse? Can I come to Saudi Arabia with my kids? Is there any work for my spouse? And are there schools for my kids? Now the question is yes. As a health worker, most of the things I'm telling you is from my own perspective. It's from my personal experience as a healthcare worker in this kingdom. So if you are in another field, please do well to make further inquiries about what is obtainable in your field. Whatever I'm sharing here is majorly for healthcare workers, and I know that the system is almost the same for all expatriates, whether healthcare or in other industries. But whatever I say here is majorly for healthcare workers, because that is where I have experience in. That is what I've been doing since 5 years plus. I've been in this kingdom. So like I said, disclaimer, I'm not an immigration agent, I'm not a travel agent. It's just my personal experiences I like to share with people, just a kind of a tip of the iceberg, you understand, so that you have to prepare your mind on what you're coming in for and navigate quite smoothly. But in life there is never a smooth sail in anything you're doing. You will get struggles here and there, challenges here and there, but when you're pre-informed, you know how to better handle these challenges or struggles. So that's the thing. So can you come to Saudi with your spouse and your kids? Yes, the answer is yes. When you are given a work visa, usually you will apply for a family visa for your family, and your family includes your spouse, your kids, and I think your two parents are included in the family. I think so. Your parents should be included in the family, but I'm very 100% sure of your spouse and your kids. Now the thing is this: if you are applying for your spouse and your kids, there are a few things you need to have in mind before you apply for family visa, there are a few things you should have in mind. Number one is, if your spouse is coming with you, if he's your husband, he's not going to work officially here, because it will be boldly written on his ikama, on his resident permit, that he's not allowed to work legally. Now, if he's your wife, she's not going to work. So that's settled. Check. Now, for your kids, you are entitled to bring your kids along with you. Another thing you should bear in mind is this: if you are eligible to pay the work permit levy or ikama levy, as I said in the previous video, I think that is episode 6, please bear it in mind that you're going to be spending a whole lot of money. But if you're not mandated to pay it, that is fine. Now, for your kids, whether there are schools your kids could go to. Yes, there are schools here. There are Arabic schools and there are English schools. Now, for the Arabic schools, is owned by the Saudi Ministry of Education. It's owned by Saudi government, and they are free. Whatever, if you want to put your kids in Arabic school, it is 100% free. Yes, both for citizens and for residents, it's 100% free. But if you want to enroll your kids in the international schools or the English schools, now there are several international schools. Don't get me wrong, there are several international schools. Depends on what you want for your kids. There is American international school, there is UK, there is Australia. Then you start having the Indian international school, Pakistan, and all those other countries. They have their own international schools. And also Saudi individuals also have private international schools also. Now, if you're lucky, you are posted to a bigger city, a very big city, you might be lucky to get very good international school, even though it is not the UK or the US international school. You will have variety to choose from. You have so many international schools for your kids, and then all you have to be doing is to check for the fees and the quality of learning or education they have to offer. But if you're in small cities like mine, you will not even one. You won't even have one. I could remember when I wanted to try to see if I could enroll my kids into an international school. There was one that was opened in my city that very month, and some doctors were telling me about it. Evangel, why not go there and find out things for yourself? I feel they are good. I feel they are is a good establishment and all that. I will not lie to you, I went to this international school. Even from the reception, they can't speak calm. So I now wonder, you say this is an English school and is this expensive, and the receptionist cannot even say come. I requested to see maybe a teacher or somebody who could at least chat with me in English. At least let me have some convincing stuff that this is really an English school and my kids will be properly taken care of when it comes to language. And I found out that they just started. They have not even employed any English person, because all the people there, couldn't understand English. I was wondering, why is it called English school? Why is it called international school? This is probably a private Arabic school. That was what I told myself before my husband decided to take them back home so that they could be enrolled in schools. I made a video about it while my husband left with my kids back to Nigeria. I will link it up so that you will watch the video. It's an old video, so when you see it, do not freak out. It is still me. Yes, it's an very old video, on my channel here. So that was it for me. So I felt, I don't have any option but to, relocate them back to Nigeria, where they are enrolled in a good school, and you could see the difference than them staying at home. I may not have all the time to homeschool them because there are 3 of them and I'm working. And another thing is this: even if you're in the big city, you have to check how much these schools cost. If it's an American international school, UK international school, they're very, very, very expensive, such that if you are maybe an expatriate from Nigeria or from other African countries or from Asia, you may not be able to afford it. But looking at the Indian international schools or other countries' international schools, their fees are very tolerable. I mean, their fees are very affordable. It's not as if it's comfortably affordable, but it's something you can sacrifice for your kids. If you are in such cities, you can as well, take such opportunity by enrolling your kids in such schools, so that you give them that benefit of staying with you. So that is it for schools and all that. And the thing is that the level of education here, even in the Arabic school, I mean, the standard of education is very, very high. Yes, it's quite high. At least I had to interview a Nigerian who is living here with her family. I asked her, which school her kids are going, and then she told me about the school, and it's very affordable, and their standard of learning or standard of teaching is quite high. I mean, it's impressive. But in my own city, there's nothing like international school or English school. But you can get this international school in bigger cities, maybe Jeddah, Riyadh, Koba, Dammam, Taif, and all these other very big cities. Abha. Yes, you can get all those. You can get international schools in all those places. So if you're planning to come with your kids and you have been posted to a particular place, please make sure you Google about, although Google will not tell you much about all these stuff, because you don't get to see them online most times. Even when you see them online, they're not going to tell you about the fees, they're not going to tell you about the rules and regulations, they're not going to tell you when the intakes will come up, and a lot of information you'll be craving to have online, they are not available. Yes, that's the thing. So but if you can get somebody who is living in that city, they can make inquiries from you, even by going to the school and asking questions and all that. So that is it for school for your kids. But if you are of the school of thought that your kids should be homeschooled, good for you. I mean, if you have the strength, if you have the knowledge, if you have the passion to homeschool your kids, is also good. But before you homeschool your kids, I think there are procedures or protocols that has to be in place before you say, oh, I'm homeschooling my kids. For how long are you going to homeschool them? It depends on how many years you're going to stay here. But if it's like maybe 1 year thing, you could say, okay, you will homeschool them for that year, and then when you travel, they continue from where they stopped. But if you're going to stay like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, are you going to homeschool them for that long? Do you have what it takes to homeschool a child? So these are the questions that you should ask yourself and answer them appropriately. And for your spouse who is coming here, just have it in mind that he or she is not going to work legally. Yes, he or she is not going to work legally, because it will be written boldly. It will be written boldly on their ikama that they are not supposed to work. But another way you can go about this legally is, if they try to search for a job while they are here, there is no problem. If you have a good network system here, you can get a job while you're here. While your spouse who accompanied you is here, he or she can search for a job through word of mouth, referrals, networking. They can get a job, and then they will travel back to the home country, and the sponsor, that is the employer, will give them a visa authorization, a work visa authorization, which they will go to their country's Saudi consulate and change it to a work visa. Then they will now come in with the work visa. But as long as you're coming in with a dependent family visa, you are not legally authorized to work. But if you do what I have told you now, it's going to help you a lot. I have seen people who have done that. In fact, I advise a lot of people to do that. If you search for a job and you get a job here, when you are on a family dependent visa, you get a job, then your sponsor or your employer will give you visa authorization. You will go back home, then come in with a work visa. So that is it for whether you can bring your spouse or your kids here, and whether they can go to school, or whether they can work while they are accompanying you in this kingdom. Please, if you have not liked before, why not like this video now? Like this video, and then subscribe. Is that red button down there, and click the bell sign so that anytime I upload a new video, you'll be able to get it. I need your support. I'm going to be sharing lots of information here. We'll also do our health stuff. Remember, I didn't leave health I didn't leave health out. I didn't leave it out entirely. We'll still be doing some health tips and all that. Yes, I'm a preventive physician, a preventive medical practitioner, public health physician, whatever you want to call, that is what it is. And I believe in preventive health, so I'm going to also be sharing information about some tips. I mean, you could put in place to prevent loss of diseases or infections and all that. So please, there is, support your girl, support your friend, support your sister, and share this video, like, give me a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. And till I see you next time, I am still Evangel Anyanwu, and I love you as always. Mwah, mwah, mwah.